Box Chevy family, it's your boy Box Chevy P, and we back again with another one. I originally wasn't gonna make this video today, but then I decided, I'm like, you know what? A couple things I was doing the video that I was planning on making today didn't quite go my way because I had a few other things that I needed, some parts that I need to come in because just a few little hiccups. So I said I'm gonna do this video for y'all because I've been getting a lot of questions on what all you need to do an LS swap. So we're gonna go over there right now, and I'm gonna try to give y'all my best opinion. No, I'm not a professional, but I'm gonna give y'all my opinion. Like I said, I've done several LS swaps, so I know what you need and what you don't need pretty much. Because a lot of stuff you don't need, you just buy it. Some stuff is optional. Some stuff you're gonna need, some stuff is optional. I'll put it like that. So give me a few seconds. We're gonna go around here and look at this motor, and then I'm gonna show y'all what I'm talking about. As y'all know, when you buy an LS motor, a used one, they call them junkyard motor, whatever, they come out of a car. This one, for instance, came out of a running van. This was out of like a 3500 van, had a 4L80 behind it, which the 4L80 is right there, down there. This one came out of a running van, and like I said, I heard it run and everything. All my motors always hear run. A couple of them I haven't heard run, but I get it from my guy, and he a pretty decent nigga, so I know that he be keeping it 100. I ain't never had no problem this far. He tell me it's good, I know it's good. But long story short, I heard this one run already, and it came out of a van, and this is how they usually look when you get them. Now, can you use all of this stuff? You can use most of it. Mine is probably if you're doing an LS swap on a box Chevy, I'm gonna say, because I don't know about other frames, but I know for box Chevys, when you're taking that right there off, you're gonna have to take off that AC compressor because you see it's down at the bottom. So usually when we do them, we put the AC compressor up at the top, but when they come stock out of the Tahoes, Yukons, and all that type of stuff, express vans, which this came out of an express van, the AC compressor gonna be at the bottom. So for one, you have to take that off to get it to fit. But all you pretty much got to do is take the stuff off that ain't gonna work. You can still use the same intake. You can use the same computer, and it's a lot of stuff. Like I said, you can use the same. You can even use the same headers in certain instances. Like these are manifolds, but it's gonna be harder to find a piece if you ain't got the back piece on there where you can weld it. It ain't gonna work. First step I do, to be honest, when I get them, I take them. This is how they look when I get them, and I break it down. So I broke it down to look like this one right here. This one right here, that's what I broke mine down to look like. I took all the stuff off of it, cleaned it up. I put all new gaskets on it, and now, like I said, that's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? I put new rear main seal. I always change my rear main seal out too. But like I said, everything is stock on there. That intake is stock. Core brackets is stock. Everything on there is stock. You know what I'm saying? I ain't put nothing aftermarket on there. Everything is on there stock. I just had to put a serpentine. You can even leave the stock serpentine and water pump on there if you want to. That's if you want to save money. Or if not, you can use the Camaro water pump, which I'm going to bring you over here to show y'all. So I'm just showing y'all that to show y'all what the basic one look like, right? So that's the base setup. So that's a lot of stuff. So I'm just going to give y'all the bare minimum of what you need. In this video, hopefully I don't confuse y'all. But as far as this swap, so say I was to take this motor to get it swapped. I just got this motor. They got the stock intake. Of course, y'all see this is not a stock intake. This is a stock LS2 intake, but this don't come on the LS motors like that. So they come stock with everything. If you wanted you want to do it the cheapest way, don't buy none of this stuff. So I bought all this stuff. This stuff probably cost me extra $1,500 buying all of the accessories, the water pump, this AC compressor, the dirty dingo bracket, the ICT billet bracket, this alternator. Like I said, you can just get one bone stock and just use it, and then you can go from there. But that's if you want it to be cheap. So I'm just giving you all the route to take if you want it to be cheap. Leave all the stock accessories on there. Just, of course, if you want to check all your gaskets and stuff, like your valve cover gaskets and stuff, I usually go through all that stuff if you want to check it. But if you got a solid motor that didn't have no leaks, you can just pretty much drop it right in, with the exception of getting these motor mount brackets right here. You see these motor mount brackets? Those converted your LS into a small block, so they can fit in place of a small block. So this shell right here, these came off my original 305. They came out the car. I took these shells off of here, bought the ICT billet plates, and adapted them. So this silver plate here is what adapts, make this fit into this car. So you're gonna need those right there. That's the simple part to make it fit in here. Now, as far as a cross member, if you handy and you know how to weld, you can weld something up real quick and make your cross member work, or you can spend $400 like I did and get you one. So well, the harness not under here, but the bracket is. The harness is right here though. This is the standalone wire harness right here. So you can get these from $100 to a couple $100. If you want to go to the expensive ones, you can get more expensive. I usually use these This is the cheapest route to go. I never had a problem with them yet. I mean, it ain't always about being cheap because I'm going to tell y'all something. When it comes to sensors, which if the sensor's good on these motors, keep your stock sensors because them sensors are expensive, like the AC Delco sensors, all of, the camshaft sensor, oil pressure sensor, all that type of stuff. Don't cheap out on those because it will cost you later down the line. So I wouldn't say go cheap on that. But as far as this, I done used this for 5-6 years. I've never had one issue yet. One time I had to re-pin the O2 sensor wire, but other than that, I've never had a problem with the standalone. They plug up and they go. I've seen other people have issues with them, but me personally, I've never had an issue with the standalone wire harness. But speaking of the oil pan, this is the muscle car oil pan for the LS swap right here. And a lot of these oil pans, and they're not all universal. They all fit LS motors, but they're not all universal. You got to get different car oil pans for different car bodies. Every frame is different. You know what I mean? So this one specifically is for a Caprice. So this will fit the Caprice. You can get an A body oil pan, F body, G body. So it depends on what kind of car you're working on. This is what's going to depend on what oil pan you go with. It just depends on what car you swap it. And then as far as the fuel tank, you can pretty much use your stock tank on whatever old school you have. You just have to change the sending unit out to an electric one. If you didn't have fuel injection, you just change it out like that. Change that out. So you will have to buy a sending unit if your car wasn't fuel injected already. And I take it if you're doing an LS swap, it wasn't. So other than that, like I said, that's the cheapest way to go. Just get, like I said, get you in. Of course, you're going to have to, now this is not optional. You're going to have to get the VATS deleted on this computer here. You have to take it, get the VATS deleted. That's not optional. And I'm not telling y'all every little part y'all need on here. I'm just telling y'all what you won't need, basically. Because a lot of stuff people don't understand whether they need it or not. They just buy it and they're wasting money. I've learned it the hard way. But you will need to get the VATS deleted on this here computer. You have to take it, get the VATS deleted, or your car won't start up at all. So just so you know that. So that's pretty much it on that. And then, like I said, whatever harness you get, it's going to have to match your transmission. Because if you're using an electronic transmission, which is like a 4L80E or 4L60E, when they got the E behind it, that's electronic. So if you got electronic transmission, you're going to have to get a harness that controls your transmission as well, which will be this. This plugs into the 4L80E. So if you got electronic transmission, you're going to need your wire harness is going to have to match the trans you got, and it's going to have to match the type of fuel injectors you got, which my fuel injector is not on there. I can show y'all on the other car, but your harness, you have to tell them you have to look and see what type of injectors you got and all that stuff so everything will plug right in because it'll save you a headache. So, like these are my fuel injectors right here. I think these are EV6 or EV1, I'm not sure, but I got the right connector to them. These are actually adapters I had to put on there because matter of fact, I had to turn them from EV1 to EV6 adapters because I couldn't find a harness to fit to the EV1. So these are EV6 adapters. These pop off. So I can pop that off. See how that pop off of there? Them adapters. And these would be the original, how they look right there. So they got a lot of adapters too. So you can kind of work around a lot of this stuff too if you don't want to use a bunch of adapters. But you just got to make sure everything right. But I say as far as your sensors, make sure y'all use all the good sensors. Like these coils here, they AC Delco. Make sure everything is good. You don't want to cheap out on your coils and your sensors because I done had that shit go out within a couple of days of me even running the car. So pretty much all I can think of. And it's just a spare the moment video. So forgive me if I was all over the place. Because I know some people might be confused. Well, what I got to do with this, and I try to explain the best I could. Some stuff you're going to need, some stuff you won't. But what I just explained to you is the bare necessities to get the motor in, which will be the motor mount brackets. That's to get it in there and get you a good cross member that fits your car, because every cross member is different. If you got a G body, you're gonna need a G body cross member. You got a B body, you're gonna need a B body. So, yeah, so on and so forth. A body, F body, all the same. So keep that in mind. All of them not universal where you can just put it on any car. You gotta buy the stuff for your specific car. As far as the cross member, and then as far as the oil pan, you're gonna need some specific stuff to make your car, to make it fit in your car. And like I said, you can use your stock radiator. You can use this big clutch fan. Me personally, I like the electric fans better. But like I said, to each his own. But so the moral of the story is, if you want a cheap LS swap and you don't want to have to spend a lot of money and you ain't got a lot of money to spend, stick with the stock accessories the first time around. That's what I did. And I'm going to put some pictures in here of my motor to show y'all what I did on my first one too. I left everything stock. The first time I didn't even use a AC compressor. I left everything stock. And then once I learned a little bit more, I got it running, driving a little bit, I started adding accessories as I went. I took the old stock setup off and I put some aftermarket stuff on there just to make it look more sporty. So, but like I said, if you're just doing a cheap LS swap and you on a budget, Get you a complete motor. Don't get a motor where you got to buy parts here, parts there, parts there. Get your motor complete because you can use 90% of the stuff off of the motor that you're buying. You can use that for your swap. So that's just a little small tip I gave y'all just to save a few dollars, just in case you didn't know. Use the stock accessories. And if you got any questions, you can get in the comment section. Or if you got any questions and you follow me on social media, hit me on social media. And if something I didn't go over, just hit me, ask me, and I'll let you know. If I'm knowledgeable about it, I'm going to let you know. Knowledgeable about it. I'm talking too fast, y'all, because it's cold. I'm trying to get out of here. But I'm Box Chevy P on YouTube, Box Chevy P on Instagram, and Perry Burrell on Facebook, or Box Chevy P. So if you got any questions, like I said, hit me. If I got time, if I see your message, I will respond. A lot of people that think I don't respond, a lot of messages go to my request section. Then on top of that, I get a lot of messages. Every time I post a video, that's when I get the most messages. Every time I drop a new YouTube video, I get a bunch of inboxes. So I'll be having so many inboxes, I can't read all of them. When I sit down, I just look through them and I respond to most of them. So don't think I'm ignoring y'all. But I do get an overwhelming amount of responses from people. So I try to get to everybody accordingly. And if I can help you, I'm going to help you. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. Because like I said, I'm not a professional and I don't know everything. I just know what I know. I'm a weekend mechanic that run a business throughout the week, and I just deal with my cars on the weekend. So I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. So if I can help you, I will. If I can't, I have to figure it out. Like I said, I did all my research. I looked up a couple videos, and that's how I ended up getting knowledge on doing LS swaps. So I watched videos for like 5-6 months straight till I got enough information, or I felt like I had enough information to do it myself. So if y'all ain't following me, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and then I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.